What's the stupidest name to name a child? I had a computer teacher called Mr. King. He asked students for suggestions on what to call their soon-to-be-born son. Mr. King was a religious man, and our priest at our school named Wayne recently passed away. I suggest the name Wayne as being good and in honor of Father Wayne. Few months pass and he excitedly tells the class he named their child Wayne King, and I almost pissed myself laughing. Mr. King is a simple man, a religious man that had no concept of wanking apparently. God bless Father Wayne, a very good influential man, and would have approved of this. This story came from New Zealand. In some countries, there is a panel that reviews questionable names. For example, there's a cigarette brand called Benson and Hedges in Australia and New Zealand. Some idiot named his twin boys Benson and Hedges. When the Kiwi panel found out, they rejected it. The biggest clanger: this poor kid got to age 6, and had already started school with this name. Tallulah does the hula in Hawaii. She shortened it to Tallulah for her own dignity, and the school had reported her name. The panel demanded they change her name to something normal. I don't know what parent would do this, but at least 9 Americans thought it perfectly okay to name their newborn cheese in 2013. I mean, holy shit, do these people don't understand that eventually this kid has to go through the hell that is middle school? Or they have to put that name on a resume and find a job? When I was a car salesman in the late 90s, I sold a car to a woman named Crystal Waters. When I asked her about that name, she said that hers didn't bother her, but her older brothers really did. She went on to explain that his name was Running Waters. I was incredulous, and did not believe her. About 5 years later, I am now working in pharmacy, and I end up working with a woman with the last name Waters. I was shocked to find out that she was the wife of Mr. Running Waters. My mom worked in the kitchen of a hospital and was delivering a food tray to a 15-year-old girl who had just had a baby the day before. My mom asked what she named the baby. The girl responds, "So the hospital named my baby, but I don't like it." My mom was confused and asked what the baby's name was. The girl said Famali, pointing to the nameplate on the bassinet that had her last name and the sex of the baby. My mom said, "No, that just means you had a female baby." I have a good friend that was teaching in Georgia in her early 20s when she met a young girl named Toshiba. My friend, being a traditional Southern woman, very politely asked, "What an interesting name, does it have any special meaning?" The little girl's response was, "No ma'am, I was named after my aunt's VCR." Apparently, my friend had to leave the room, so as to not embarrass little girl. I can guarantee this one is true. I know someone with 2 daughters, Tallulah Kiwi. I love the name Tallulah, but I don't understand the Kiwi part, and Autumn Rain again. Autumn isn't a bad name. I also know someone who named their kids Peggy Sylvia. Not a bad name. I just feel sorry for the kid who's having an old name and her surname isn't the best either. Huxley, which I absolutely detest. Not so much tragedies, but not the best in my opinion. Act. Someone told me it is pronounced Absidy, which sounds like Absidy to me. I think the first time I seen this was about a story involving a family wanting to bring their support Rottweiler to see a mall Santa for their daughter named Abt. The Santa was uncomfortable with the dog and refused to take a picture with the dog as well. It was a local story like 10 years ago, so I don't think I can find it. Help. I don't know if that's legal, but I've heard of cats named that. It shouldn't be, but if it is, definitely the dumbest name. Hey, help. What do you need? Just calling my kid. There are names that mean help. I'm saying literal naming your kid help. It's real dumb for cats, dogs, probably worse for kids. India. Name India. Good morning Britain. Oak child. Name India. Good morning Britain. Axe Chrome. 69 I57 J0 I512 J0 I22 I30 L3.42650 J0 J4 Client MS Android Xiaomi Arvo 3 Source E Chrome Mobile UTF-8 Chrome's Attribution 1 State IVLD City 9765521 Vid Overly CPIS ST0. My wife works with at-risk children and has a running list of odd names. JC Jr., short for Jesus Christ Jr., is a solid one. The implication that Jesus is a father is pretty overwhelming to consider. She also worked with Vengeance Leahy and Violence Lave. So there's that. Went to school with a kid named Richard Dick. Did we call him Dick Dick? Of course we did. Worst parents ever. He was already marked with that last name, so they had to name him Richard. Cruel. I actually like him. By high school I called him Double D or D squared sometimes. Oh, boy, do I have a treat for you. There's a crazy woman I like to watch. She posts pictures of her children, captioned with long rambles. She named her kids Anissa, Andre, Anistan, Anjali, Anderson, Angel, Answer, anger, an anthem. Hitler. Like, not even Adolf Hitler. Just Hitler. Even worse than this is in Malaysia, where there are people of a certain faith who actually look up to that douchebag for trying to wipe out Jews. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. When I was in elementary school, there was two sisters. Their father named them Faswentaga, which means fart and unheard fart in Arabic. Their father hated girls. He was so sad about having daughters instead of sons, so my daughter goes to school with a boy named Dinky. There's also a family that attends a school with crystal-themed names. Mom's name is Crystal. Her kids' names are Garnet, Emerald, Amethyst, Opal, and Jasper. It's pretty stupid to name a kid after a parent or grandparent if that family member was abusive. I mean, sure, Thurston Howell 3 is a great and regal-sounding name, but it sucks if 1 or 2 was a monster. What Elon Musk named his son. At least he didn't name him Childs. Stupid. Question mark. Dollar, euro? Dollar, dollar, yen, euro, euro, pound, yen, dollar, euro, or something like that. A million. Michelle Shelton. 1 mess up name. 1 misspelled name. Last name seems okay. I was in the elevator at work one time with 2 ladies who were talking to each other. One asked the other what she had named her baby. Oh, we named her after my husband Janisha, a complicated spelling of a common name. Like Chris, Nicole, James, Nicholas. It's not only hard to pronounce, it looks like someone spelled it wrong when they were 3 and it stuck. Jezebel. Yes, seriously. I went to the same high school as her. Every person within every school in town knew her name. Suffice to say, she won't have great memories of high school. Brand names: Bentley, Mercedes, Ruger, Chevy and the like. There are countless others, but these 4 are ones I know personally. Even worse, I think it's Bentley. Rolling eyes face. Any kid's name with parents thinking my child is unique, I will give him her a unique name. Then they will spend the rest of their life correcting its spelling. Someone named their kid Chlamydia Nicole, with chlamydia being pronounced chlamydia. All I gotta say is that will be a kid that kills their parents. Methamphetamine rules. Yes, a woman in Australia named her kid Methamphetamine Rules to see if they would go through with it. Single-handedly ruined his life. Judas and Loki is known as betrayers. People who know and respect mythology, history or religions don't name their kids after negative entities or people. Autumn and all the seasonal names. No, you're not special or mystic or whatever, and your child won't be some kind of special fairy child with powers. Rolling eyes face. A name inspired by a celebrity or musician, etc., because if some dirt comes up and they turn out to be a piece of shit, that isn't a good look. I actually went to school with a guy named Richard Rash. To make it worse, his mother was a teacher there. Poor Dick couldn't catch a break. How about naming a child Brexit? Every time they hit their teenage years, you could say Brexit. Make up your mind. Are you in or out? It is important to consider cultural sensitivity and avoid names that could potentially cause teasing or difficulties for the child. I was once waited on at Burger King by a girl who looked about 11 months pregnant. More belly than woman. Her name tag? Virgin. I feel like there has been a shift in names recently where kids are receiving dog names and dogs are receiving human names. My coworker named her baby Strawberry Rain, which would be a great name if she had given birth to a bottle of shampoo. I pronounced Ladasha. Yes, you have to say the actual dash symbol. Yes, I know more than one woman with this name. My boss has a son named Chadwick. I also went to school with a girl that had a baby in high school and named her Zelda. The amount of people I've met in the last 10 years that have named their daughters heaven backwards. So Nevaeh, there was a girl who went to my school, can't remember if it was elementary or junior high, but her name was unique. I pronounced Hele Dasha. I swear to God it's her real name. She is a kid that went to school with my kid. I've seen a trend of names that sound like rifle but weird spelling like Rayfield. Give it up, people. Someone once told me how they came across the name Chkmno. It's pronounced Noel as in Noel. Jessica? I still can't remember the exact way this asshole spelled it. Went to high school together. Rolex, Chanel, Mercedes and those brand names. I'm just waiting to meet a little Best Buy one day. I used to know a guy who thought it would be funny to name his daughter Emma. His last name was Guy. Ask this question to Elon Musk: what will be name of your next child? Opal perfect answer, Adelaide, but later Addisonize it. People think creative is cute, but damn, there's a limit. Whatever the hell Elon's son is called. I don't even know how to type those letters on mobile. That kid that was named Abt, pronounced Abzadi. Loved how oblivious and pissed the mom was. Depends on what's negatively trending. ATM. Karen will be a good example in these times. Karen. the child will be forever hated and the chance to get bullied increases by 486. I have heard about the dotted of some alt-Nazis that was called Adolf and Hitlerine. My mom worked in the NICU and once cared for a set of twins named Freedom and Justice. I will always shit on the names Audio Science, Pilot Inspector, and Moxie Crime Fighter. Any name that means something sick or dirty in another mostly widely spoken languages. I heard of a kid named Jake and lol, it's like, let's go for the phonetic approach. Braxton. Kindsley. Basically anything white women named their kids between 2008-2016. I knew a kid named Thorn growing up. It actually suited him. He was a real prick. Macon female. I kept thinking about the city and how her name rhymes with bacon. I went to school with a girl named Pura Guerra. English translation Pura War. Knew a guy years ago who named his first son Agent and his second son Commander. Anything that sounds cute on a child but would look awful attached to an adult. Dr. Willard Bliss. Anything that uses numbers or symbols instead of letters of the alphabet. I went to school with a set of twins. The younger one was named Placenta. Anything requiring a lifetime of repeated spelling and/or pronunciations. Any non-traditional spelling for common names or anything with a hyphen. Muhammad. Like we need more Muhammads in this world. Be more creative. There is a guy who named his kid Fidget Spinner when it was popular. The name of an ex, and no, I'm not talking about their other parent. Anything that Jamie Oliver or Chris Martin have named their kids. My sister worked with a vagina. That was not ideal for a female. Karen, the amount of people still calling their kids this is wild.